11. My name is Danny. Some people like to call me Mama D. And this is a different way to do things. I usually don't go with my reading first and then a deep dive, but this is what I'm guided to do, and so I'm going to do it. In that, we're going to be digging into the Lindsay Clancy case. Now, if you are not familiar with the case, she has admitted in court to taking the life of her 3 very young children, and I'm talking tiny. 8-month-old was the youngest, and I'm new to the case. I'm just being drawn in. We're on the 11th day of trial, but this trial is going to go 6 to 8 weeks. What has come to me is something is off, and I can't, every time I'm listening, it's not just that she's over-medicated. It's not just that she's having this dark thoughts. There's something more, and I'm not sure what it is. So I want to look at this real close. So I've got my deck with me, and this is a strong deck. It does give me the best energy reads. Now I need you to know a little bit about who I am, or more about my connection. So I don't connect to just spirits or angels or anything like that. I only allow my connection to my creator, God. I do believe in Jesus, and I believe he guides everything I do. That's just how I am. Nothing against anybody else. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. None of that. I just use tarot to connect directly to God because it's a language that I understand when he's talking to me. And it's all my humble opinion. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law by the jury of their peers. A lot of this is my interpretation of what God's saying through the cards. Now, that might not be your belief. But remember, you have the power of choice and discernment whether this is for you or not. In that, my heart is broken. There is no winner in this case. 3 children are gone. Precious children are gone. The mother was crying out for help, had resources available, but mental health is very tricky. However, there's just something more to this than just mental health. Did she want rid of the whole thing and want freedom like a Casey Anthony? Or was she framed by her husband? Could that have happened? People are in line are starting to ask these questions. There's a lot to this case. I'm not going to be able to get to the bottom of it in one read. I'm just going to be learning what the energies are suggesting that the events were. Over time of doing several reads, in the way that we ask our questions, we'll start learning what energies are represented by the court cards and so forth. So hello to my live audience and my replay crew. You guys are incredible. Thank you for joining me. I don't expect us to be a huge crowd at this time, simply because it's new case to our channel. And it takes time for the algorithm to find that group of people to push the videos out. So your help is appreciated to get this out there. That being said, let's jump over to our reading screen. And this little deck here is going to give me the strongest 3 energies that surrounded the children in their last moments. Remember, everything is alleged. Everything is just my interpretation of what the cards are saying. You may feel differently. Hi, Nina. Hi, Carla. Hi, Claudia Edwards. Welcome back. Nikki UK in the house. Hey, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and get started. These are huge cards. I just need the first 3 cards, please, to show me the 3 energies surrounding the children. The devil. That's what I'm picking up on. the devil. So we got to find out who is actually the devil, because the devil represents the father of lies, deceit. We have another card there. Can I get one more? Shows me, and thank you. So 9 swords. This is mental imprisonment. This is not being able to eat or sleep. This is tormented by the devil. Let's turn this over. The moon hidden. There's a secret. See? Let me explain. This is exactly what I was saying. There's something hidden. There's something that we're not seeing yet, but it will be revealed. So let's start off. The 3 energies surrounding, and energies don't necessarily mean a person. Okay, jealousy is an energy. Yes, it would belong to a person. One moment, please. Unless you want to do it later. Okay. We have orders to print, and he's like, do I print them now? And I'm like thinking the printer's so loud. Okay. So it is live, by the way. We're not AI. Hey, Jan Funk. Hi, second sign. God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Carla. Welcome back, love. All right, you guys. So this is so fitting because I'm asking the energies that surrounded these children. We have the devil. And indeed, those were innocent lives. And there's something very deceitful about the way they were removed from this planet. There's a manipulation. Think of what the devil does. He manipulates, right? And we've got the 9 of swords. This is being locked up in your head. And we know she was locked up in her head. 9 swords. Doesn't mean she did it. It can mean that the devil was manipulating her thoughts and feelings too. You can see this person is like fearful, and they're drowning in a sense, and you have this authority pouncing over them, oppressing them. 9 of swords. Hi, sunshine girl. Welcome in, welcome in. So we've got the devil, and we've got this oppressive mindset, right? Surrounding the children. But we also have what I would call, and I don't know if this is Lindsay or the husband, but we have a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, so one person's the loyal dog. The other person is the wolf. Now, wolves can be beautiful animals, but when it's teamed up with the moon card, it can also mean that somebody is around the outskirts, watching, planning, clever, sneaky, manipulative, just like the devil. So we have to consider everything. There is something very undeniably confusing about why would this mother have just snapped like that, but at the same time, was she really hearing voices, or was she being driven crazy, right? So this is going to be complex. We'll just have to understand it as we go. But I will tell you, we're definitely tapped into this case. All right, let's switch decks up. You suspect the husband's involved? I don't know yet. Let's go into True Crime Oracle deck. Okay, that was a really crappy shuffle. It did. Okay, that card flipped. Dating. All right, so this is weird because the guy looks just like the husband. And then we have dating. So you have the husband disappearing on trips to New York, and leaving the mother home alone with the children during a time when, she's having mental anguish and having mental issues. And then when this all happened, where the children were passed away, 4 months later, he gets remarried and had a baby on the way. So the area that he was going to was New York. And it is, a lot of people are asking, could he have had that wife that he has now as a mistress? And I find that interesting that we have the dating scene right here. Very interesting so far. Hey, Jan Funk. Good to see you, lovely. J.E. girl in the house. How you doing, love? All right. There we go. Nine of Swords clarifies lies. We're definitely surrounded by, we're being told lies of some way, or she was. There's deception all over. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This seems to be going somewhere. Dating and lies. But when I look at the card lies, it makes me feel like an illusionist, a trickster. Setting the stage. Pulling a rabbit from your hat. And then with the dating card qualifying the devil, that could be motive. And for the in your head wrapped up Nine of Swords, can't eat, can't sleep, can't think. Lies are surrounding that. Which is lie is one of the strongest forms of manipulation. Getting someone to believe something that isn't true. Often easier than you think, unfortunately. Let's go back over and see what our third card is. These poor babies, right? It's heartbreaking. Truly. All right, the moon. This is the secret part, y'all. We need to understand a little bit more about the moon. Faked death. Faked death. Could this be the fake attempt on her life? Maybe we're being told a lie. Maybe she didn't do it to herself. Or did she fake that she was having an episode, just jump out of the window and paralyze herself? I don't know. There's something wrong with her coming out of the house through the window. It's not as it seems, whatever that means, because we have the illusion, the lie, and it's a staged event. But the question is, did she stage that, or did he stage that? I don't know yet. Shall we continue on together? Let's switch decks again. I want to get back into the tarot. This card won't stay up. Caregiver, that's interesting. That is interesting that came up. They did have a nanny too. All right. We're going to dig deeper into this devil and the dating. The devil is in the details, maybe. What is this devil and dating? King of Cups. Somebody got the feels. The King of Cups is somebody that acts calm and cool, collected on the outside. Even looks like the dude in the face. But they're actually completely a wreck underneath. They're hiding a lot of emotion. They're hiding a lot of reality behind an illusion of control. As you can see, the water is it's churning. But this dude is sitting on this little tiny island acting like, I'm okay, I'm fine, right? Interesting. Nine of Swords leading to the lies. Tell me what this is. Tell me more about the Nine of Swords and the lies. Thank you. Ace of Wands, phallic. So there's no gender in the tarot. However, wands are considered phallic often, especially the Ace of Wands. You can obviously see why. It's a form of communication, phallic communication, and we have lies. So it's telling me that we have a masculine that is lying. Now, what is he lying about? Was he covering up an affair? Or is he the one that did this and he's lying? We don't know. So we have this Ace of Wands, also masculine energy, leading to that Nine of Swords. So there's an illusion being built up around Lindsay. Is it her building up an illusion? Or is it him building up an illusion to convince her of things? Fake death and the moon. What is hidden about? He has regret. He does. Phallic. He has a lot of regret. There's 3 spilt cups. He has regret of the children. Naturally, why wouldn't you? All right, let me understand why he's standing over the children. So the cups are the 3 children, obviously. And behind him is this faked death. And we have this hidden. So we need to understand more about the hidden. That was interesting. It popped out of the middle to the top of the deck. King of Wands. He's the cheater. The King of Wands is a cheater. Somebody that is untrustworthy. I'm just saying they're not the King of Cups. So this guy's putting on an illusion, right? That he's got it all together, that he's all this. But really, he's the Don Juan. This is almost leading me to believe that he was regretful of the children. So this guy is trying to act single and ready to mingle. But he's got a Queen of Wands. But he don't care about her. No, he's over that. This is the King of Wands. He's moving on. And then I have these 3 spilt cups, which to me could represent the children. In other words, he's regretting that he has family. Am I correct? Please share an ace or the sun. Knight of Swords, swift movement. He wanted something to happen swift. And swift action followed up. So a masculine is taking swift action. What type of action is he taking? To get victory over the situation. So this Don Juan, King of Wands, wants victory over a situation. You see how he's turning his back. Up to this point, it's all facing the 3 cups that spill his wine. Okay, so something ruins his single time to mingle energy. So he's facing that. He's looking at that, and he's like, I've got my phallic communication in my hand, but unfortunately, I have 3 things here, right? And this is saying taking. swift action, not just thinking about it, but taking. Knight of Swords goes out to battle. He removes the heads. King and Queens, let me put it this way. The King and Queen of Swords stay on their throne in the tarot. This is the doer, the action taker, the one that follows through. But they do it swift. It's just like a vorpal, a removal of the head of the problem, an execution, if you will. And that being said, the back gets turned. So this person's riding away in victory. They've gotten what they want, which, if this was a case of the father, I'll just say the masculine. If this was a case of the masculine getting what he wanted, and he wanted his children, this wouldn't be reading this way. You feel me? Okay. So the choice is cutting something out. He's making a choice, a decision, choose your decision. We're all about this King of Wands. That's why we're on the masculine. You don't see any queens on the board yet. This is all about the King of Cups masquerading as an illusionist when he's really the King of Wands, which takes irrational, analytical, no emotional connection, action to gain something. And what he's gaining is he's made the decision to cut something out, to remove something. This is the Two of Pentacles. You're standing on one leg, you're juggling. You can't do it forever. You have to put one item down to be successful. So he's cutting something out. What action did he take to cut out something? Now, if we get the Six of Cups, that would signify that he took action towards the children, allegedly. We've got the Seven. Okay, interesting. So I've got the Seven of Wands. This is a very defensive energy, and it's like everybody's coming at him at once. I have to look at it and be like, okay, so this dad has 3 young children, a wife that's very much having mental issues. You know, he may have felt like he couldn't handle it anymore. I'm not giving nobody an excuse. I'm trying to understand why he feels defensive. That's interesting to me, to get the Seven of Wands. All right, let's go ahead, table everything here. And let's get a different deck of cards out. I want to understand what happened to her, Lindsay. So we're going to go ahead with the Devil, the Moon, and the Swords back into the deck. Show me the mother's energy last time she was around her children alive. The last moment she saw her children's alive. Those precious little babies, 8-month-old even. This is interesting. All right, so we have the wheel. which can be about trying to move forward but stuck in something repetitious. We have the Four of Wands, which is a portal. Can be marriage card. And then I have the Ace of Coins, which signifies that we have a very strong energy of giving them something. Four of Wands is a mirrored image. The combination of the Four of Wands with the Wheel and the Ace of Coins is a very complex situation. So with the Wheel of Fortune, we've got this energy of something that's going around and around like a hamster cage. It's stuck, but it's spinning in the same place. Something that's happened again and again and again and again in the past. But we have this portal card, the 1111 card, which is a mirrored image of your reality. What she had been imagining in her mind was reflected in her reality. This suggests a karmic hold. When you have a karmic hold, you have a handler, somebody that is usually your significant other that is a handler. And it doesn't end well. We have this Ace, which is a new beginning. But I don't understand why it's this something tangible, giving something tangible to the children. Maybe she fed them. Let's get back over and find out more about her energy. We're going to switch decks. Around the children, the last time Lindsay was around the children when they were alive, what was the energy that she released? Love. Love with the baby. Family, love. In the baby, for the baby. And the children. Show me the energy the last time that Patrick, oh, look, Patrick. I was going to ask the last time Patrick saw the kids, and he had a woman on his mind. I told you, the King of Wands is married. He has a mistress, but he don't pay her no mind. Story just came out. So, Two of Pentacles, he had to cut something out, and there was a battle on his hand, a challenge. Five of Swords, something he wanted over with, and he was going to win at all costs. So he has to cut out a female out of his life, and he's willing to battle for it. What action did he take? Allegedly. Oh my God. The Hanged Man is talking about noosing the neck. I'm asking what action he took to cut out the female in his life. And it gave me the Five of Swords, the fight to win at all costs, the fight to the death. When I ask his energy, let me clarify. When I ask the mother's energy around the children, I get protection, love towards the children. When I ask about him, hanging, I'm asking about the last time they're alive. Yes, he found him, but he didn't find him alive. They even had to bring the baby back because the baby was technically not alive. This gets me. The hanged man. I don't like that. That's very revealing. Let's see what else. What do we need to see at this time? What do we need to see at this time? Defense. He may be paying for her defense, and because he may feel guilty, and narcissists do feel guilty when it comes to when they get what they want, they then love bomb the other person, and that can be paying for their own defense of the mother that, and say, okay, so we would protect our children. Defense and protect our children. Yeah. Archangel Michael, temperance. Something's not mixing well with the defense. It's actually a burden. So there's something wrong with the defense here. We have defense, we have the angel warning us, and we have burden. This defense might be doing this undercover job of somehow protecting the masculine and pretending to help the female. But this is saying, no. Defense, right? 9 of Wands is defense, protecting how far you've come. Defense isn't mixing well. It isn't good for her. The defense, 9 of Wands, is more like she gonna be put away. And we got burdens, 10 of Wands. So he's got that, closing up the deal, cinching it tight, the World card, closing it, closing that whole journey of the Fool, the whole event, that whole lifetime, while he watches on the sideline. He will abandon her. He has abandoned the children. I'm sorry. I'm just saying what the abandonment card means, abandonment, and then it's followed by the children. Okay, you take it for what it is. And the attention. He wants out of the attention lately. He wants to be ignored because he's going to go through it again. He's in the loop of repeating a cycle with somebody significant. So I'd be worried if I was his new wife. The Queen of Pentacles, long term, soulmate. This is karmic as hell. This has played out many, many times. When it comes to karmics, I'm going to come up to top side real quick. When it comes to karmics, the event plays out over and over for an eternity until the person's, the empath, learns her self-worth or his self-worth and steps away from it. So it repeats over and over and over and over and over again until the person learns and evolves and removes the karmic, cuts that karmic out. But this is showing me some very interesting ways to look at some of this, don't you feel? Same as your readings so far, Jennyville, you've been doing them too. Cinching. Hey, Riffin' Roofer. Good to see you. Stone Racing says, wow. Nikki K, wow. Jennyville says, I'm here, but going back to see what I've missed later. Well, thank you, lovely. So we're going to come back on here. But do you guys have any questions before I go? If you would like to ask a question, I can shuffle the deck. I'll shuffle it now and ask a couple questions, and I'll pull a couple cards on the case. And then we're going to jump over and just do open discussion and see what everybody's thinking. So far, if nobody has any questions, then we'll just move along. Now, if you are asking a question I can only do it if you're live with me to pull the cards. So, because I would never want to sit and try to type that out. There is a decision being had now behind the scenes. What is that decision regarding? Thank you. Something's being illuminated behind the scenes and very clear. Now, this can be soul mate. This can be about your mate, the reflection. So maybe something's being illuminated about him behind the scenes. That's interesting. You okay, Noah? Take a drink. But there's some plans. That's interesting too. Some plans. Queen of Swords, we've got court. I wonder what that'll be about. That can be a lawyer. That can be a prosecutor or a defense. That can definitely be a lawyer. And then we have the defense. So it could be the lawyer of the defense. Something's going to come up about that, about the defense of a lawyer. In death. I think we should just jump off here. That's interesting because it's come up that if you actually listen to what I found, this guy has walked the timeline based on everything. And it is being suggested that it would not be possible for Lindsay to have done this to the children and be at only 82 degrees temperature outside in the snow. That she can't have done both. Did she do either? I don't know. But we're going to jump off here. It'll give you about 20 minutes to go do something, and I'll come back on later where we'll come together and deep dive this case a little bit more and bring you up to speed so that you understand. I don't know why I was guided to do it this way, which is totally backwards, but I was. Maybe I needed to look at this before we did the deep dive together because I wasn't expecting this, but at the same time, I know that a lot of people have been looking at some of this evidence going, I don't think it's possible, like scientifically possible for her to have done this. And if she didn't, oh my golly, he would have had to orchestrate this down to fine tuning. But it is possible. I don't know. What do you think? All right, you guys. I'll jump back on in just a little bit. I can't wait to see the defense side. Me too. I want to know what they had to say about all this. I don't feel he's doing her any justice, but it's such a wild, mixed up case. All right. I love you guys. I'll be back on in 20 minutes. All right. See you soon.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think